Hi again, Blue Sky family. Here for another yoga stretch class. If you're new to this class, if you've never done a yoga stretch with me before, it's just a class where it's sort of a very along the lines of a restorative yoga class. If you've done yoga before, what we try to accomplish here, reach our intention, is to try to maintain the range of motion in our body, the length of our muscles, the length of our tendons and ligaments, and just healthy, like keeping those parts of our bodies nice and healthy, and again, that adage that if you don't use it, you lose it. Thinking of that as you move through your practice today, trying to really achieve or get what you came for, and that's again just to restore that body. So what you'll need at your home practice, again, maybe a pillow, a couple of pillows, a blanket are always great. If you do have blocks and a strap at home, grab those. And also a towel in case you need to lengthen your arms or lengthen your reach. So you can pause the video, quickly go grab that. And if you can hear the music, great. And if you can't, maybe put on some nice soothing music for yourself during your practice today. So if you're ready, let's lie back in our Shavasana. Everybody come down into that lying on your back position. Begin to open up the body. Roll your shoulders, tuck your right shoulder and the left shoulder underneath you by just pushing into the back of your head, lifting your shoulders off the ground and tucking them in. And then rolling those palms up to the sky and taking your hands a little bit wider so that they rest on the floor. And then same thing with your lower body now. Push your heels, tuck your tailbone under, rock your hips side to side, and then take those legs out nice and wide. Let the baby toes or that baby side edge of your foot sink down to the floor and then settle in. So finding again that corpse pose or Shavasana. And once you've arrived there, close your eyes. Begin to feel yourself let go of any tension. Try to bring the focus to how your body feels right now. So we like to start with just that scan from the top of our head down through our body. So come down through your shoulders, through your hips, through your lower body, and then all the way down to your feet, and see how you feel today. Check in to see if there's any tight spots. Maybe remember back to if you've done yard work or something new in your sort of routine. Maybe there's something that's gripping or a little bit tighter, and maybe that's the area that you have to spend a little more time on, a little more TLC today. So as you just begin to feel the backside of your body grow heavier into your mat, let's now just bring awareness to your breath and just the regular movement of your breath in your nose and exhale out your nose. And if you can do it, keep your mouth closed as you inhale and exhale, trying to keep the warmth inside the body. Good. You're going to give me 2 more of those breaths, and as you breathe in, I want you to visualize your lungs as if they're balloons, and I want you to feel or see yourself blowing those balloons up. So draw that air in, feel the belly rise, feel the rib cage expand out to the side, and then breathe all the way up into your collarbone. Hold on to that big, full balloon. And then as you exhale, you can just constrict the back of your throat if you know what Ujjayi breath is, where you just exhale out all the way down to the soles of your feet. Good. One more like that. Excellent. Let's start to bring a little bit of movement into your fingers and toes. Awaken the body. And change those to some very gentle wrist circles and ankle circles. Good. And as you do these circles, just think about coming to a little bit more of the edge of those circles as you're doing it. Change direction. All right, draw those legs together. Interlace your hands above your chest. Press your arms up to the sky, and then reach above your head for your first stretch. Doesn't have to be too aggressive. Just point those toes. And again, maybe just rock your hips a little bit side to side. Shimmy through your ribs. Open up. Good. Staying right there. One more breath in.
And then I want you to exhale and just let your body melt onto the floor. We're going to do that one more time. We're going to reach our arms above our head, interlace, inhale in. But instead of pointing your toes this time, can you flex your toes back to your shins as if you're standing on the floor? And then as you have those toes back, flex back towards your shins and you feel your calves engaging, just roll your toes in and out. Just work through your ankles and open up. Excellent. All right. Now start to draw your right knee in towards your chest. Draw your hands down. Interlace your hands just on the outside of that right knee. And let's come into wind relieving pose. So start to use the biceps to squeeze that knee in towards the rib cage. Draw the backs of your shoulders down to the mat and draw that leg in. Good. Now I want you to be very aware of your left leg as well. So make sure you reach away with that left heel and then start to bring a little bit of movement into that right hip. So once again, that mind-body connection here is just so important. Think about the head of the femur, the head of the thigh bone in the hip joint right now. And then as you move this knee around, maybe you start to make circles, just see yourself sending that fluid, that blood into the hip joint and all that nutrition that comes with it. Just ignore my dog as he walks by. And then changing direction. And then as you're moving your right hip with your eyes closed and your awareness in that hip, if you find that you feel one spot that might be just talking to you or a little bit tighter, inhale and then exhale and draw yourself into it. Perfect. All right, let's keep the right hand on the right knee. Place your left hand down on your left thigh and then start to draw that right knee all the way outside to the outside. Whoops. And then up to your armpit. Good. So reach that heel away. My home phone never rings. I cannot believe it's ringing right now. We'll just leave it. Excellent. Another breath in. And again, feel free again to just sort of move that right leg up and down. Feel it inside that hip joint. Maybe drop it a little closer towards the earth. Excellent. Okay, let's bring that right leg up through center and just switch hands. So left hand will now reach around, right hand will go on the floor. I like to sort of just grip in behind the knee and then inhaling. And then as you exhale, draw that leg across your body, but make sure you keep your right shoulder pasted to the floor as you gently draw across. Good. When you come to your furthest expression of this pose, stay here, take a breath into your right hip, and then push your right hip away from the right knee. So try to lengthen the length of that right thigh. Good. Drawing it back up through center. Excellent. Place your right foot on the floor. Draw your left knee in towards your chest. Interlace. Extend that right leg out. And again, you want to make sure that that foot is flexed. I'm not sure you can. There we go. So you want to make sure you draw the right toes back to the shin as if you're standing on the floor. Inhaling. And then use those bicep muscles to draw the knee into the rib cage. You almost want to feel like you're, I don't want to use the word pinch, but just cutting off even the circulation into that left hip. So don't be afraid to really compress through. And then start to, again, add a little bit of motion here where you start to just work through that entire hip joint. And then you can start to add those little circles if that feels good for you. Good. And again, with your eyes closed and your focus on that left hip, just see if there's any area that needs a little bit more opening. Find that area, take a breath in. And then exhale and see if you can just move a little bit more into that area without making it too intense. Good. Let's keep our left hand on the left knee. Draw it outside of that left rib cage up towards the left armpit and then reach away with your right heel. So I even like to move my right leg a little bit more to the right hand side, creating a little more space between my hips as I open up and feel the opening in that hip. And again, I always encourage movement. This allows you to find that sweet spot, to find that area that has maybe been dormant for a while, you haven't really opened up or accessed. And then once you find that area, take your breath in and move into it a little bit more. Good. Drawing that leg back up through center. Let's add the right leg to the left leg for double wind relieving pose. So here you're going to hug both knees in towards your rib cage, and you can use your bicep muscles to squeeze them in, and then begin to try to flatten out your lower back. So push your tailbone down as you draw those knees in with those strong arm muscles. Good. Feeling the full pressing through the hips. Good. All right. Now from here, send both legs up into the sky. So send them up, grab on anywhere you want to behind your legs, and start to make full ankle circles. So this is legs up the wall with a little bit of support with our hands. So it should feel really good in your ankles and into your calves and lower legs. Change direction of those circles. Go nice and slow and full range of motion. Good. Finish off your one more circle. Good. Let's stay as if you're standing on the floor. So now my feet are hip distance apart. Draw your toes back to your shins and then reach your heels up to the sky. So you'll see my knees straighten out. And then think about trying to flatten out your hips again. So roll your hips down as you reach up with your heels. Good. Now stay right there and start to bring your big toes in towards each other. Heels flare out. Sorry, my dog is maybe in the way, maybe not. Oh, there he is. Good. And then press the other way. Good. Toes go out, heels come in. So it looks like you've got those Charlie Chaplin feet. Pull those toes back. Excellent. Come on back in. All right. Let's soften the knees back down again. Now what I want you to do is you're going to slide. I'll just give you another perspective here. You're going to give me eagle legs, or you're going to wrap your left leg over top of your right leg, just like you're sitting on a chair and you're cross-legged. Good. Now what we're going to be doing, you can interlace your fingers on the outside of your left knee, or you can reach underneath and interlace on the outside of the right knee. And you're going to start to, once again, similar to what we did earlier, but now you're going to compress the left knee in and pull down. Now once you're using those bicep muscles to compress the right knee in, I want you to roll your tailbone down and just give it a bit of a hip stretch. Good. Hold it on there. Excellent. Now releasing this back up again. Now we're going to keep our legs exactly the way they are, but now we're going to go into a spinal twist. This is a very intense spinal, it can be intense. So know again that you can just stack your legs one on top of the other, but if you're okay to leave the left leg there, what you're going to do now is you're going to fall over to the right hand side. So arms are going to tee out and you're going to fall all the way over and let the whole lower body melt down towards the mat or towards the floor. Again, if that's too much for you, unravel those legs and just stack your left leg on top of your right leg, just like that. And again, even if that's too intense, take your blocks or your pillows and put them between your knees. Good. I'm going to add the neck to this as well. So can you pick your head up and look back to your left hand? Good. Try to, once again, close your eyes. Let go of any sneaky tension that might be gripping. Check in to see if your jaw is tight. Check in to see if your cheeks are tight. I'm just going to quickly let him out. Good. Let your eyes sink back in your head. Then one more breath here into that left hip. Big breath in. And exhale back out again. Good. Let's bring the head back to the neutral position. Unravel that left knee, come up through center. I want you to take your feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart. So I like to, a great sort of marker for you is that your feet are straddling on the mat. So you've got half of your foot on the mat, half of your foot on the floor. And let's just begin with a gentle windshield wiper knee. So drop your right knee down to the middle. And then inhale as knees rise, and then drop your left knee down to the middle. Inhale as the knees rise up again. Just one more to each side. And just think about trying to bring the inside edge of that right knee down towards your mat. So use your right quadricep muscle to open it. And then inhale and then exhale. Excellent. Coming back up through neutral. So heel toe those feet together. Wrap your right leg over top of your left leg, and once again begin to draw the left knee up, pressing into that right leg. And again, hands can either interlace on the outside of that right knee, or it can reach underneath, interlace. If you've got that length in your arms to interlace on the outside of the left knee, draw that leg in, and once again start to compress that left knee into the right leg, and then roll your hips down onto the mat. Good. Staying there. Close your eyes again. Maybe as you're here, it might feel really nice just to roll the tailbone a little bit more down as you squeeze in, feeling again your hips pressing out to each side wall. Good, coming up. So, yogi's choice here, keeping your legs stacked like eagle legs, arms come out to T-arms, and then letting everything fall all the way over to the left-hand side. Good. Picking the head up, and then looking back to your right arm. So this is a spinal opener, spinal twist, thinking from your tailbone coming up through your lumbar spine, all the way up through the thoracic spine that you're feeling through as you open up the shoulders, and then into the cervical spine, and then right up into your neck as you look back to your right hand. And know again, if this becomes really intense for you, you're going to unwrap your legs. You're just going to place the right leg on top of the left leg. So as you settle into this pose, check in again. Make sure your teeth have not started to tighten. Feel your right hip melt onto your left hip. Check in with the back of your neck. Is the back of your neck letting go? Is your head feeling heavy? Excellent. All right. If you do have the eagle legs, unwrap your legs, come up through center. Good. This time just wrap your arms around those legs. Give yourself a little hug. Draw your nose in towards your knees. And then drop back down again. All right. I want you to roll to your whatever side you'd like to roll to. And whatever side you roll to, reach up with that arm. Let's use it as a pillow. Draw your knees into nice and close towards your body. Keep the warmth in. And let's just take a couple of breaths here in the fetal pose. And as you're in this position here, with your eyes closed, I want you to right now see your back rib cage in your mind. And you're going to send some nice big breaths into that back rib cage. So you're going to inhale through your nose, feel your back ribs starting to expand and spread as you take that big breath in. Feel the back open. And then exhale and feel your side body that's supporting you melt into the mat. And then try one more of those. Again, big breath in. And then come on back down. All right, let's use that hand to press yourself up and arrive in a seated position. So we're going to do a little bit of upper body work, neck work. So I need you in a seated position that's comfortable for you, but that you can maintain a nice long spine. So if you're really tight in the hip flexors, sometimes sitting on the floor like this is just not doable. You might have to sit on a block or maybe a pillow. Or you might sit right up on a chair. You might get right up onto a chair, and that's okay too, as long as from your tailbone through your spine up until the crown of your head, you have a nice long line. And it doesn't have to be too aggressive. I just want you to think that maybe you've got a string attached from the top of your head. Chin is in just a neutral position. Shoulders are down and away. So soften your eyes. Gently draw the navel in, feeling again that belly button just engaging. Good. Excellent. Now maintaining this nice tall posture, start to just gently drop your chin down towards your chest. And then inhale back up. Not too far. Don't impinge anything, and then exhale and drop down. Inhale back up. And exhale as you drop the chin down towards your chest. So now let's leave the head there and just start to just roll the head. Take the left ear towards the left shoulder. And then back down again. Roll over to the right shoulder. Take it back down through. And lastly over. I want you to come all the way back down through center and come all the way up again into that nice tall spine, shoulder blades in your back pocket. Now think that you've got your chin resting on a tabletop, and let's look all the way over our right shoulder. So keep going. Don't be afraid. Look over that shoulder. Good. Inhale as you come through neutral. And then exhale and look over your left shoulder. Perfect. Let's go one more time each direction. Inhaling as you come through. And exhaling, bringing that right ear around and maybe going just a little bit further. Again, trying to maintain that tall spine. And then inhale one more time. And exhale as you look over. Perfect. Coming back into the neutral position. Good job. Now this time I just want you to let everything collapse. So no more longer spine. Let the whole body collapse. Maybe even turn your palms up to the sky. And let the upper body just hang like a rag doll. And as your head is heavy and hanging as if it's on the end of a string, maybe let it rock side to side. Maybe say no. Or maybe nod your head yes. Excellent. And then rising all the way back up again. Rolling those shoulder blades into your back pocket. Good work. Now you're going to reach for your towel or your strap, whatever is available to you. And you're just going to let the towel or the strap come down the back side of your body with your, let's start with your right hand. So send your right arm up to the sky. And then you're going to let the towel or strap fall behind you in that right hand. Elbow stays pointed up. And you want to make sure that it's not down here, but again, up beside your ear. Now you're going to take your left hand, find your towel, and start to walk your hand up your towel and your right hand down your towel or your strap. Sit up nice and tall. And then start to roll that left shoulder back and sit up, pulling it, almost even pushing, if it's available to you, press your head gently into that right arm. Good. Drawing your shoulder blades away from your ears, pulling your heart through and holding on to it. Good. Now you can stay right like this for a couple of more breaths, or you can give me just a tiny flexion forward. Good. And then come back up if you are flexing. Now one more opening. Just take that right elbow and just start to tip it over towards the left.
but make sure you roll that armpit up to the sky. Try not to collapse it forward. Excellent. Come on, back up. Left hand releases your towel first, or your strap. Right hand comes down. Give yourself a couple of shoulder rolls. Excellent. All right, so just switch hands. Other hand comes up. Send it directly up to the sky. Elbow bends. Elbow is pointing directly up. Good work. Find that towel or strap. Begin to walk your hand up. Good. And then once you've found that you've got to the full position that you want to be in, roll that right shoulder back down. Pull your left shoulder away from the ear, and then gently press in nice and tall. Good. So this is called cow face arms. Excellent. And then start to gently tip. My dog is being a little bit of pain right now. I apologize. Come on back up. I snuck in this home video because nobody's home, which is just not normal. I've got both of my girls living with me. Tip over to the left. And then take it back up. But of course he has to be a pain in the butt. Good work. Release it back down again. And big. If I let him out, he's just going to want to come right back in again. Peanut, go lie down. Go lie down. All right. Let's get out of this seated position. So put your strap or your blocks off to the side. And let's just hinge forward into a tabletop position. So arrive in your tabletop. Hands directly below your shoulders, knees up. Push the earth away and make sure you spread out those big starfish hands. Good, let's just go through a couple of cat-cows. So dropping your belly button down, tailbone goes up to the sky, crown of the head goes up to the sky, pull your heart through. So you should feel as if you're pulling back on your hands, but you're not really, you're just feeling that sort of gripping through your mat. Good, exhale into your cat, and as you push the earth away, round through your shoulder blades, tuck the tailbone under. Excellent, now initiate this movement from your tailbone first. So drop the belly down, but rotate the tailbone up, and then come through the spine. Good, looking up. And then exhale as you push the earth away. Okay, let's do a couple more of those at your own breath. And again, I'll encourage you to add a little bit of movement here if it feels good for you, or you just sort of wag the tail and then press the earth away. More time. And exhale. Perfect. Coming back down through your neutral position. Let's just walk our hands a little bit further away from our body. And we're going to begin with some coming back to our hip mobility by just creating little circles with our hips. So just start to roll your hips around in a circle. And then change direction, just warming up that hip joint. Let's go back to your original direction. Let's go a little bit more aggressive here. So now, as you start to pull your hips down towards your mat, squeeze your glutes, open up the hips, push the hips way out to the side, and then you might even sink your hips right back to almost a full child's pose. Take it out to the side, open, feel those hip flexors. Be careful that you don't dump into that position. When you come forward, you want to be very careful of the back. So you want to just slightly contract through the glutes and then come back through. Good, and then let's change direction of our circle. Take it all the way around and back. Good, go nice and slow, and again, I'll encourage you to close your eyes and see that hip joint. See the top of your thigh bone just stirring inside that hip joint. Sending beautiful fluid and energy. Good. Finish off your final circle, and I want you to sit your hips right back towards your heels. Get a nice full stretch into child's pose. And then inhale as you come forward, and then start to just drop your hips down towards your mat, but squeeze your bum and look, just peek up to the sky. Good, let's take it all the way back again. Reach back. And then hips come forward. Let the hips sink down towards your mat, but squeeze your bum, look up. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. One more time. Good, and as you come forward, once again, maybe walk those hands in a little closer. Let the hips squeeze through the glutes. Drop the shoulder blades away from your ears. Look up to the sky. Cobra. Now start to peek over your right shoulder. And then peek all the way over your left shoulder. Perfect. Hinge yourself all the way back. I want you to walk your knees a little bit closer. Now your knees don't have to be hip distance apart here. They're going to be there. They can be whatever your choice is, but we're going to start. I'm just going to do a tricep and a side body opener for you. I want you to ground your right elbow onto your mat, and then you're going to take your right hand as if you're patting yourself on the back. Now, this is where you're going to adjust your body, and I'll show you from a different angle here what it's going to look like. So my elbow's planted. I'm going to rock my armpit down towards the floor, pat myself on the back, and then I move my left hand out so that I can start to really manipulate that right armpit, that right side body. So I'm going to let the armpit sink down, and then once I've got it there, I might just rock it a little bit to the right, and then come through the center and move a little bit to the left. So now I'm just, with my eyes closed this time, my focus is inside that shoulder girdle, and just opening up, and be very, very gentle here. Don't be too aggressive, and don't ask too much of this joint. Just be very gentle on it. Good. Walk your body back up and just switch sides. So left elbow gets planted. You pat yourself on your shoulder or back. You let your armpit start to melt down, move the body, and then close your eyes and come into this. This you really get quite a bit from this opening. You might feel it all the way down into your lat. Perfect. Excellent. Coming all the way back up again. Then finishing off with the full expression. So put both elbows down. Palms come together as if you're in the prayer pose. Open up. You might want to stack your hips over top of your knees. So I'll show you what it looks like from the side here. And then you're going to let your hips rock back as you let your upper body sink down, and then take your hands behind your head and just rest. So keep working, taking that body away from your elbows and feeling that nice full side body stretch on both sides. Good. And again, I always like to encourage just a little bit of movement side to side. Excellent. All right, hands come back down towards your mat, and you hinge yourself back up again, finding yourself in tabletop position. All right, so we're going to come into our first down dog. And for those of you, again, that don't really like down dog, know that, again, you can just extend that leg back, push your body weight back, and get that lower leg stretch that we're going to get through down dog. But also, down dog gives you so much more. If you do down dog right, you should be okay through the wrist. So spread your fingers out as wide as possible. Most of your weight is on your index finger and your thumb. Tuck your toes under. As soon as your hips rise, send your thighs back to the back of the room. Thighs go to the back of the room. My ears come past my biceps, and I'm actually going to look back to my shins or my knees. And my knees can be soft. Drop your belly towards your thighs and begin to pedal out those feet nice and gently. And again, I like you to go nice and slow and move through. And again, those people that are regular in my class, I'll often say to you, move your feet in different directions so that you're really opening up different parts of the Achilles tendon and the calf. So keep moving through, and notice how slow and full those pushes are as you push down. For those of you in tabletop that are pushing, to switch legs and then rock your body weight back. And if you're in this position, if you kind of roll
excuse my bum, to your baby toe and to your big toe as you push back. That's where you're going to really, again, feel the different parts of that Achilles tendon and that calf. So keep working it through. Excellent. All right, my tabletop people, keep going. My down dog people, stationary feet, rise up onto your toes, drop your heels to the right, and then drop your right hip down. Feel the left side body stretch. Good. Come up back onto your toes, drop your heels down, and then drop your left hip to the floor. Feel a left side body stretch. No, this is right. I have to do that once in the class. I do miss you heckling me. It's just not the same. Excellent job. All right. Now we're going to be stepping we're going to come into pigeon or deer pose. So for those of you in down dog, you might really like to come into this from a three-legged dog. So right leg will go up to the sky for a three-legged dog. And you're going to draw your right knee behind your right wrist. My people in tabletop, just slide that right leg up and walk it out. Now, begin to walk that left leg back and even take a peek back and check to make sure it's down the midline of your body. Good. Once you're in your pigeon, if you find that your hip is high off the mat, slide a pillow or a blanket or a block to bring the earth up to you. Good. Before we lie down, let's come into a proud pigeon. Now, for those of you where pigeon is just a little bit too much, if this is a little bit too much for you, bring your back knee up so that it's parallel with the side edge of your mat and come into a proud deer. Good. So everybody lift the heart up and then start to come in and now resting deer or resting pigeon. So pillow underneath your forehead if that feels good, or a block. Rest in there. For those of you that are in pigeon, can you push into your right shin, lift your right hip off the mat, pull it back slightly, pull your left hip forward, and then settle back down to this little bit of newfound motion. Good. Let's take one more breath here, and as you breathe in, I want you to see yourself pressing your right hip out to the right-hand side of the room, your left hip out to the left-hand side. Excellent. Let's start to begin to walk our hands back up to that proud pigeon or proud deer. And then start to walk your hands a little bit more to frame your right knee, lift your heart back up again, and as you peek over your right shoulder, can you roll your left hip down? And this works the same for deer or pigeon. Good, let's come back through center. So come back, place your hands down, tuck that back toe under. Now arrive back in either down dog or tabletop, whatever works for you. And then from my down dog position, left leg comes up to the sky for a three-legged dog. Feel that nice opening through the hip. And now draw the left knee behind the left wrist. Walk your right leg back or come into your deer pose. Good. First we come into proud pigeon, lifting the heart up, rolling that right hip down, holding that. And then as you come down into your resting pigeon or resting deer pose, can you think about walking your body long? So take your body out. Instead of just coming straight down, walk your body down. So lengthen the torso and then come into your resting pigeon. However you want to let that upper body rest. Again, pillows underneath the head. Maybe even stacking fist on fist. This is a really nice option as well. Letting the head rest. And as you surrender to this pose, once again, know how powerful your breath is. Take a nice, beautiful, big breath into that left hip. and then exhale down. Feel yourself spread out. And if you want to create a little more space, let's push through that left shin, lift the left hip up, pull the left hip back, roll the right hip forward, and then once again settle in. Take one more breath in here, and as you exhale, think about letting that left hip spread out a little bit more, the right hip out to the right side. Wonderful. Let's begin to walk those hands back up into our proud pigeon. Give me those cupcake hands, lift the heart up. Actually, let's frame that left leg, lift up. And as you peek over your left shoulder, roll that right hip down towards your mat and feel that opening. Good, taking it back in again. Now I want you to sweep your right leg all the way around. Let's bring that right foot over top of the left leg for our spinal twist. Now, you can either keep this left leg bent, but if this is too much for you, know that you can always extend it out and you're in this position here. Good. But if you're okay to pull it in, you want to try to have both of your sits bones in contact with your mat. Grow nice and tall, shoulder blades away from the ears. And we're going to reach up. Whoop, wrong hand. Reach up with that left hand. Good. Now begin to start your spinal twist from your belly button first. So let's just bring belly button around, then ribs, then shoulders to either hook or hold, and then lastly is the neck. Good work. Grow a little taller. Inhaling and then exhale, and see if you can just twist just a ½ inch deeper. Good. Let's come out of this. I want you to extend. Everybody's going to stretch out their left leg, and you're going to give me a counter twist. Bring both hands on your left hand side, and then bow yourself down. Let the head grow heavy. Let your whole upper body just sink down. Good. Rise back up again, and just switch sides. So right leg comes out, left leg comes across. Stay or tuck. Good. Both sits bones in contact with your mat. Shoulder blades away from your ears. Navel is tucked in. We begin by placing that left hand right behind your left hip. Right hand goes up to the sky. And again, begin belly button, ribs, and then either hook the elbow or just grab that knee. Doesn't matter. Good. Grow tall through the head, and then start to look over that left shoulder. You really want to think about your tailbone rooting down through your mat, and then twisting through your lower spine, coming up through your waist, twisting through your shoulders, lastly through your neck, and then lift the crown of your head up to the sky. So tailbone goes to the mat, crown of the head goes up to the sky. Let's everybody take a breath in, and see if you can just come a ½ inch further. Lovely. Let's come back in. Extend the right leg out. Both hands come to the right hand side, and everything flops down, counter twist. So just the weight of your body hanging here, you really feel your back opening up. Good. Rolling yourself back up again.
Let's extend both legs out. Give me just a little bit of a kick out here. So hands behind you. Just shake those legs out. All right, so now we've been twisting our spine. We've done a lot of wringing out of the spine. Now let's go through the full length of your posterior chain of your body. So we're going to go into a forward fold here, and you're going to be very gentle on your body. Some of you might want to grab your pillow or your blocks and tuck them underneath your knees. This might feel a little bit better to give you just a natural knee bend, or you can even just bend your knees. You don't have to keep them straight. We're going to get rid of the junk in the trunk, and then again, wherever you want to be. Now think about shoulder blades in your back pocket. Draw the navel in, and if you think of that just hinging at the hip, reach up with the arms to begin with. Good, and again, knees can be flexed, and start to hinge at the hip. So don't start to do this. Don't collapse through your upper body. Keep the upper body long and start to hinge forward until you can find your belly on your thighs, or you can take it back down again. This is so bizarre, you guys. I never get phone calls on my home phone. Twice. Hope it's not an emergency. Good work. Inhaling in again, coming halfway up. And as you exhale, see if you can take the top of your ribs away from your hip joint. So inhale, and then move your ribs a little bit further along your lower body and exhale down. You grab wherever you want to. Again, don't be too aggressive here. Just let gravity do the work here, opening up. And check in to see if you're fighting this. Can you relax? Can you relax your neck? Can you relax your shoulders? Feel your glutes in your lower back start to release. Feel your entire legs let go. And then notice your ankles and your feet softening. Jaws relaxed, eyes are just soft in the head. There should be no great pain here. Your intensity is about a 5 out of 10. Just feeling something, but not at all painful. Good work. Start to walk those hands up. Excellent. Grab behind your knees. Draw your knees up towards your chest. Give yourself a hug. Let your whole spine rest down. Good. Rolling yourself back up again. Let's come into cobbler's pose. So bring the soles of your feet together. You might want to pick your hips up and walk them a little bit closer towards your heels. We're going to begin with a nice active cobbler's pose. So you're going to pull your heart up and you're going to push your knees down towards the earth as you draw your heart up. So in this position here, you're using the pushing of your feet together, so pressing your feet together to push those knees down. And I often like to add just a little bit of rocking here, a little bit of movement, just to open that up. Good. Now keep your left hand behind you. Just place your right hand gently on the inside of your right knee. Now don't push too hard. Just give yourself a little bit of a gentle press of that knee down towards the earth, feeling a little bit more of an opening through that right hip. Good. And then let's just switch sides. Left hand, very gentle. Don't push too hard. Just a little bit of assistance here to open up that left side. Excellent. Now you may want to walk your feet a little bit further away from your body, and you're just going to bring your hands forward. Now this time you will have a very passive forward fold.
So you're just going to let the head dangle, the shoulders, your upper body's going to be like a rag doll. And you're just going to let everything hang. And your cheeks are going to sink down. Let your mouth fall open. Feel like everything is just sort of hanging towards the floor. Good. Start to walk your body back up again. Help those knees together. You're just going to move yourself into the middle of your mat, grab behind one leg, and just slowly lower yourself all the way back down again. Good. Once you've arrived here, just want you to lengthen your body out. Just for a very short Shavasana, I've just got one more opening for you. So just let your hips settle, let your feet settle. So I said last class that we would do some legs up the wall, and for those of you that have a wall that you can use, I don't really have one, but if I was to use this little wall here, I would get my body right up against the wall. So your best way to get into legs up the wall, if you have a wall to use, is to get your body right against the wall, and then you'll take yourself down and you'll swing your legs up the wall until your butt is right up against the wall here. So I guess I do actually have a wall that I could use. So this would be legs up the wall here. And again, my butt is right against the wall. For those of you again that want to just use, if you don't have a wall space, you might use a pillow underneath your butt. So you could take a pillow here, lift your butt just off the mat, place the pillow underneath your lower back, and send your legs up to the sky. And of course, if you have a block is a wonderful tool as well. So legs up the wall is one of the most restorative poses that we have. It allows all of the blood that pools in your ankles and your feet and your lower leg just to come back into the center of your body, back to your vital organs. So if you've spent a lot of time on your feet, maybe you again have done a lot of yard work, this will make your legs, just give them a nice rest. And then sometimes we like to add some gentle ankle circles, feeling again, kind of the way we started our class, bringing that motion into our ankles. Good. And if you're against the wall, you can still sort of do this. Take your feet a little bit further away from the wall, add those ankle circles. Maybe draw your toes back towards your shins, reach your heels up to the sky, push, roll your tailbone into your pillow or your block or the floor. Good, and then point your toes up to the sky. Feel the front side of your ankles and your shins stretch. Do that one more time. Draw down. Excellent. Now let your knees come in towards your chest. So just let them hang out there. Now you're going to keep your left knee bent, and you're just going to let your right leg fall out to the side. Now you can even put your hand on your left knee for a bit of stability, right hand on the floor, and then your left leg just hanging out against gravity here. I often like to roll my leg a little bit forward and a little bit back, hanging out against gravity. And what you should be feeling is that the inside of the right leg is getting a little bit of an opening here. Good. Reach away with the crown of your head, flatten out your neck, close your eyes, and just let gravity do its work here, stretching out that leg. Play with where the position of your left leg is and see if that helps at all to access areas that you need to open. Good. Let's draw the right leg in. Hand can go on that right knee. Extend the left leg out. Begin by letting gravity do the work at first. So just let the leg hang out against gravity. And begin to move that leg. Slow everything down. Soften through the face, let the jaw part. Good. Now you might want to just stay here. You might want to keep both legs bent and just move your legs away from you or towards you. Or you might want to just let those legs hang out against gravity. Good. So it's a straddle stretch with your legs in the air. And again, sometimes playing with your ankles, reaching away with your heels as you pull your toes back to your shins, or maybe pointing your toes or ankle circles in this position. Take your tailbone a little bit more on the mat, or onto your pillow, I should say, and then back up again. Good. Begin to bend those knees if they are straight. Bring them in, back into your body. Place your feet back down on the mat. And if you're against the wall with legs up the wall, come on out of it and meet back on the mat again with everybody. So come on back down. You can draw those knees into your chest, and if there's anything else that your body's asking for, if you might want to just give yourself a little bit, one more hug and draw your nose up to your knees, or maybe you want to come into happy baby, give yourself a little bit of a happy baby stretch here, side to side. Again, maybe kicking one leg out, that might feel really great, or the other leg, or whatever your body's asking for. It could also just be moving right into your Shavasana. Excellent. Now, whenever you're ready and your body feels ready to move into your final Shavasana, your final relaxation, find that position where you can come into full relaxation. So whether that's into corpse pose, or you arrive the way you started, or whether you want to take your blocks or your pillows and just tuck them underneath your knees for a little bit of lower back support. Or of course, if just moving into your fetal position works for you. So find that position where you can completely relax. Good, and once you've arrived, let's once again just do that scan from the top of our head down towards our feet. And check in to see that there's no areas that are gripping. Your toes are relaxed. The bottom of your feet are relaxed. Your heels are growing heavier into your mat. Your calves are softening. Your knees are letting go. And the muscles in your upper leg seems as if they're slipping off your bone. They're so relaxed. And then feel your hips and your lower back spread out and let go. Feel your shoulders growing heavy. Let your chest melt. Let your neck again surrender to gravity. And then feel the back of your head growing heavier into your mat. Keep focusing on your relaxation through your whole body, and now feel all the muscles in your face begin to soften. Soften your jaw, soften your cheeks, soften your eyes, and soften your forehead. So as best you can, I want you to push out any thoughts. I want you to see your mind like a big white canvas, nothing to do, nowhere to go. Allow yourself this time for you. So let's just do a little bit of breath work together before I leave you. So let's all exhale. So I want you to exhale all your air out. Push it out. Exhale.
Just a little bit of breathing together. So inhaling through your nose, pull in for 1, 2, 3, and hold it for 1, 2, 3, and exhale it all the way out. 1, 2, 3, and hold for 1, 2, 3. Inhale again for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. And exhale it out for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now exhale it out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale it out. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Staying with your breath. Inhaling in and exhaling out. Good. Again. I encourage you to sort of savor this moment, enjoy your Shavasana as long as you're able to. And when those thoughts creep back into your mind, that's okay. Acknowledge them and push them back out again. It's my absolute pleasure again to lead you through your practice, to help you either end your day or start your day, to take care of yourself. And as always, I can hardly wait to see your faces. Like I said, I miss the bantering back and forth. I love you all. Have a fantastic day or evening. Namaste.